I wanted to give my opinion really quickly about Anonymous organization. And I know a lot of people might not like this. Okay, so they're supposed to be like on the side of the people, right? And they're supposed to be hackers. And I'm not sure if that's what they like to be called. They might not like to be called hackers, but people that can actually go in and to get into like deep web, dark web, and do things and see all the things that go on there, and can take anybody and erase their identity, and expose everything about them, text messages, things they look up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like they can, they know all the ins and outs, so they can like ruin people's lives, right? And I'm pretty sure they can get people killed. But I don't necessarily think that they're who they say they are. Because for the longest, at first I was like, yeah, when the whole what was it, Wall Street riots and stuff that went on like 4 or 5 years ago, I was really like, man, they're man, these hackers that you know are hacking, and coming through on this system, and alerting us of things that the governments are doing, and collusion and all this other stuff. But it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of dirty things that are happening that we even speak on. There's a lot of truths, like, okay, so if they know all this information, they can out anybody, any organization, anybody. Why aren't they doing it? I mean, if they can, they're so techie and whatever, what I'm saying, and know all this stuff, and can hack in these different databases and get information, and and knows all this stuff. Why aren't they telling on the Illuminati like who they are, what the organizations are? Why aren't they outing like actual safe houses, addresses of these places that are harboring, or not harboring, but harboring criminals, yes, but also involved in the slave trade, sex trafficking. Okay, why aren't they? They should be, if they are all knowing and all this, all seeing, and they should be, not just saying, yeah, this is, it just seems like they're just hyping up the conspiracy that's already there. You feel what I'm saying? And if they have all this access, they could be, just from my personal point of view, the things that go on in my black body, being in this country. Why aren't they outing, some of these people who are killing us, these initiations that's been going around, where these white hate groups initiations, where they're going around hanging people, and the police are covering up, and the coroner's covering it up in each city, talking about their suicides, but black people don't commit suicides in public places, and nor by hanging, not, that is just not something that we normally do. And then if you look at the ropes and things like that, they're very like skilled at, so, and you look at some of the guys that have been swinging from these ropes, they don't look like they were Boy Scouts or practice tying ropes. Why aren't they outing these cops, or these, or whoever is going around doing this? Why aren't they out? Because they can tap into surveillance, they can tap into, computer database police. I mean, they can do all these things, but they don't. They just hype up the already conspiracy that's kind of already out there already, to some degree. Like people are talking about, and the latest that they're talking about, this whole thing about the blackout and stuff like that. And so, which is just basically the stuff that everybody's saying. Like, you would know, if you're anonymous, and you are these hackers that are independent of any government, and not in the way of, oh, we're not going to claim you on the record. You're off the record. We don't know you type of spy espionage bullshit that goes on between governments and nations and shit. I'm talking about truly independent, where you just so sophisticated. Y'all got the, I'm just thinking in my mind, like, they got like all these monitors, and You know what I mean? Like all this access. And why aren't you like y'all? You should know they would have hacked and told us what the dates were, or what they were actually, without any, without a doubt, what they are actually finna fucking do. Not having people going around, saying, okay, well, I don't know. They was doing the whole test with the internet. YouTube went down, Facebook went down. They're testing stuff. We don't know. Then they come back and they're talking about, oh, they're gonna do a blackout, a utility blackout. We don't know. And some people talking about EMP. Some people are talking about they're just gonna shut it off. They should, if these people were not connected and not put out here specifically to for a specific agenda to make people feel like there's hope. And I've seen this particular tactic, being an African American, I've seen this particular tactic that has been used by the powers that be in various ways in my community, whether they bring the preacher or, the psychology of it all, of, keep hope alive, or, pray on it. And there's a lot of different things that they do with us in the black community. Is it 10 after?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. So that's just I'm just very, I don't know. I'm just very curious. I don't know. I don't believe that they're not in some way a tool for the powers that be. It could be global powers, or I don't know. But none of these, whether it's America, Russia, Japan, if there was an actual, if you just think about it, if there was an actual network, cyber network of hackers that could tap into all this information, secret information, the dark web, the dark government, shadow governments, deep, the stuff that they're doing, the traffic, they were, you knew that there was an organization out there capable of hacking computers, getting launch codes, leaking information. They would have gotten them by now. They would be the global most wanted. They wouldn't be most wanted just by America. They would be wanted by United Nations. They would be a threat to any nation's national security that are developed on the face of this earth. So we have to stand back, and take a rational look at the anonymous group. And like I said, I know that's going to piss some people off. Some people like, oh no, you're different. Think of it rationally. These people, what they claim that they can do, not one government on earth would want them to just be out there. They would be wanting to find them, whether to, just either, period. And a lot of times they might want to have them, work with their nation, or whoever tried to catch up with them, or whatever. But they still would not let them be out here. So I just want y'all to think about that. I gotta go, but I just want y'all to think about that. I don't think the anonymous is who they really say they are. And definitely they're hackers, and they can do all that stuff, and turn people's worlds upside down and all that stuff, and they could out anything they wanted to. That's what I'm saying. They could do anything they wanted to. They could hack into anything and put all your stuff out there, bank records, everything. They could do all this stuff, but they're not coming out with stuff. They're not exposing nobody really. They're not exposing the root. They're just giving us little crumbs.